Let me ask you a simple question. Be honest now. Would you rather eat something that was made 6 months ago or something that you made an hour ago? You can ask this question about a lot of things, but none hold more true than the simplicity and deliciousness of a freshly made flour tortilla. This is Kitchen Serious. The beauty of this recipe is that the ingredients are probably in your kitchen right now. So let's dive in. I'm starting with 2 3/4 cups of AP flour. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Give that a quick stir, and now I'm adding 1 stick of melted butter, a half cup. If you'd rather use lard or shortening, feel free to substitute. Now I'm going to stir it up until most of it's been incorporated, and you'll get this pebbly texture. Then you can add your water. I'm going to measure out 3/4 cup of hot tap water, along with a teaspoon of salt. When I say hot tap water, just to give you an idea, mine is about 120. I'm going to add most of the water and just start continuing to mix it up until it becomes one large mass. As far as the consistency, it should feel like really soft play-doh. You can adjust your flour and water by the tablespoon if you need to add either. This is when a stand mixer fitted with a dough hook comes in handy. Otherwise, you could crank this out old school like I am here. I just prefer to do it this way so I can feel the gluten develop. After around 5 minutes or so, it should feel pretty soft and bounce back once pressed. Next, for me, I'm going to divide this into 8, and I'm going to be rolling this out as thin as possible, so I'm going to end up with about 8 tortillas that are around 10 inches. Now, if you wanted smaller taco-sized tortillas, I'd recommend dividing the 8 once more so you get 16, roughly 4 to 5 inch tortillas. I like to try and make a uniform shape to make it easy to divide in half. After all these are divided, I'm going to cup each one and give it a circular roll to form it into a ball. Once they're all rolled out, you want to let them rest for at least 15 minutes, but closer to 30 if you're able. The longer you're able to let them rest, the easier they will be to roll out without them pulling back. You want that gluten to be nice and relaxed. So about 10 minutes before you start rolling, preheat your pan to medium-high heat. Ideally, you could use a comal, which is a staple of any Mexican kitchen. These are cast iron pans specifically used for cooking tortillas. If you're like me and you don't have one, any cast iron pan or flat griddle style pan will work. Now it's just a matter of finding a good method to roll these out. I've always rolled them out as if I'm rolling pastry dough, meaning a quick pat down and then a rolling motion from center out. If you wanted to do it more dumpling style, feel free. Make sure you're not only rotating but also flipping to ensure nothing gets too sticky. Don't be afraid to add a little extra flour as you go, but given the flour to fat ratio of these, they should not be too sticky at all. A question you might have is how thin to roll them out. And my standard response would be as thin as you're able. But don't roll it larger than the pan you have to cook them in. You want to ensure it cooks evenly, so make sure the entire tortilla has contact with the pan. As you can see, once it hits the pan, it's going to blister up pretty quickly. Once the surface gets these all over, give it a flip and cook on the other side between 20 and 30 seconds. These do not cook long at all, so make sure not to wander off. Eventually you'll be getting the timing down where you can roll one out as one is cooking and just kind of always have a tortilla in the pan. As I'm going, I just stack mine on a plate and cover with a towel. From here, you can use these for burritos, chimichangas, quesadillas. You could slice them into wedges and fry them into the world's best tortilla chip. But I'll be honest, these things are so tender and buttery. I nearly always enjoy one fresh out of the pan. It's delicious, it's simple, and best of all, you can honestly say with certainty when they were made. So thanks for checking out Kitchen Serious, guys. I will see you next time.